Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to Builds with Anna. Today we are in Willow Creek and we are building I'd say a semi-affordable house. So this is a budget restricted build. It is it's a family home which is 50k or under. Now this house, I actually did have a household planned for this house. So I was playing the game a little bit in my personal time and I have this kind of chaos ridden family. So it's a sim it's the Hannon family, and Noelle is married to Will, and Will is a criminal, and Noelle is a doctor. She's an aspiring doctor, so I think she's an intern at the moment. And they recently had triplets. So they had triplets. So they had two boys and one girl, and then along with the triplets she fell pregnant again, and then she had another son, so a baby. So in the end we do have four children. So we have three toddlers and a baby. So they definitely outgrew their little starter home that they had. So I needed to build them something that was going to be applicable for them, but I didn't want to build them something that, was going to take me ages to receive the funds. So 50k in this game is not crazy to obtain. So I thought it was still an appropriate price point. All right, so let's get into the build. Now, a little bit more about this build. So this is I believe it's a 4x2. I want to say it's a 4x2 house. And it was a house where, as I said, it's got that 50k budget, but as I was building this, I was having so much fun, and the exterior of this house is absolutely gorgeous. In the end, I think towards the end, I definitely was placing and deleting items because I was running out of money really fast, because the outside is beautiful, fully furnished, lots of things for the toddlers to do. Lots of kind of areas. I really was not paying attention to money. I was just building. Happens every time. We are not surprised. But anyway, as you can see, the shell of this house is very much coming together. And this is the type of house I like to build. This is textbook Anna. It's just really pretty, really dainty. I love those bay windows that I was able to create on the left-hand side of the build. Those entryways, and it's such a pretty house. And it's a shame that the inside is just not as decorated as nicely as the outside. I believe the kitchen and the living room and the dining is furnished really well, but I'll be honest with you, the bedrooms aren't. And I was very lucky that the bedrooms in this house that were required were actually like nurseries and toddler rooms, because they're cheaper. They generally are cheaper. You don't have to put as much in them. So we did get away with a lot of it purely because of the family that we intended to live in this house. But if you so wish to download this house, you definitely may want to go in and revamp those bedrooms, redecorate those bedrooms, just because these are designed for my chaos family, my chaotic family. They're not designed for your kind of, I don't know, your 4 sim household that you would potentially have. So as you can see, I'm just working on the exterior of the house. We're nearly finished. I'm just adding this extra kind of half-tipped roof to the top. There's something about having columns connecting to my stair railings. I just love it. So that's why I've extended this roof piece out so that I can do that. And I do the same in the back. I just add another hipped roof, and I'm just changing the wood tones. So I wanted to have that kind of light. I wanted a light kind of color base, so the light wood with the light paneling and the white. So we're just inside. We're just deleting the interior walls of the home, and we do obviously use the upstairs in this build. So the upstairs is going to have a lot of those toddler rooms. I believe the baby's nursery is downstairs, but yeah. So this is kind of a bird's eye view of the home. It's so pretty. I really like this house. I really do. I just wish that it wasn't for my chaotic sim house, because I would definitely use this house a lot. This is the type of home where I would potentially have a generational family in there. Not one of those crazy ones where you end up having like 6 kids, but like just like I don't know, a nice little family of 4 or 5. I think this home would be definitely suitable for. All right, so we are upstairs. I'm just doing some half walls. So sometimes I use half walls instead of fencing around my stairs. I actually think it looks quite nice. The upstairs was quite interesting. I think the stair placement, it threw me a little bit. So I was just trying to find a way to utilize the space. And yeah, so this is the main entrance that then leads into that kitchen and dining, which then leads into the living room. I believe that you have a bathroom there, and then the back part of the house, and then that wraps around to the master bedroom and that nursery. I believe it's a bathroom, or is it an office? It might be an office. I'm not sure. We'll see in the minute. All right, so now we are starting the landscaping. I'm just starting out with some cobbled together paving. I love this paving. I use it quite a lot. And I definitely wanted to do a little bit more of a sporadic kind of path, so something that wasn't exactly, I don't know, as neat. And I created this weird kind of U shape, which I do for a certain reason, because obviously where I want to place uh, flower beds and what have you. But in the end, I do end up paving that whole corner. And that's, I'm just doing it now actually. And that's where that entertainment space is going to go. So, your barbecue and what have you, your seating. And then we have more gardening and kids stuff over on the other side. There isn't a pool in this house. And that's something that I could have done as well to really use the space, which would have been cheaper, have a pool instead of having all of the children toys and what have you. So yeah, I'm just drawing in loosely where I want my garden beds to be. I didn't use any fencing, but I really could have. If I really wanted to keep that kind of clean vibe, I could have easily have gone in with some fences. But I think maybe this was the point where I was like, oh, I probably should consider budget. And obviously it's way cheaper to use terrain paint, because fencing is still going to cost you simoleons. So it's a very nice trick, and it's something I do all the time. But I think with budget restricted builds, it may just always be easier to use terrain paint or just, use your debug flowers. Speaking about flowers and trees and what have you, we are into the landscaping. Now, these blue lay-lowing flowers, I love these things. I think they're so sweet. Normally I use the little yellow ones, so I thought the blue was quite nice. It's kind of eye-catching. And I paired it with these pink hydrangeas, and I really ran with these pink hydrangeas, and I just love the combination of the blue and the pink. From the front of the house, it just looks so visually appealing. It wouldn't be an Anna build without these white daisies, because these are my favorite flower in the game. We are not surprised by now. They're just so beautiful. It doesn't matter what house style you use. I love them. I really do. I think the only house I don't use them in is when I do cottages. But that's because we have those roses from cottage living that are so good. So good. I really liked that little faux garden bed that we did over there with the pink hydrangeas. It's kind of cute. I don't normally do that. And I thought that was a really nice use of the space. Again, I always leave gaps in my landscaping for rocks. I just really like how it looks. It looks a little bit more realistic, adding realism into the build. And yeah, again, with landscaping, when you're ever not sure, pick a few flowers, okay? And then just change the size, the positioning, alt placing, and what have you. And you can really create something that's quite effective without having to put too much thought into it, really. Like, this came ahead really quickly. This just came to fruition really easily. And that's what you want. Like, if you're starting out in building especially, don't complicate things, Start small, do a little bit here and there, and just kind of, take inspiration from, reference pictures, or maybe like there's even like builds in the actual world. When I look at Willow Creek, obviously there's going to be a lot of suburban type builds that you can pull inspiration from. And like, if you're a new builder, that's definitely a way that you can practice your building and kind of create something. All right, so here is that little garden nook, and next to the gardening area, we do end up putting some children objects. I do actually end up removing some of the fence and creating like a side path. We're doing that right now. I just thought it looked a little bit more, kind of that it made more sense really to have, two entrances. You've got the side entrance and then the front entrance, I should say, and then the side entrance. I love mixing flowers. Now, I know that these daisies have more of a stark green, but I do like the combination of the blue and the white. And then it just looks a little bit more cohesive. And that's really important to me, is that when I'm creating a space, that, yeah, you have areas of focal point, which, talking about focal point, look at this vibrant umbrella seating that we're just doing. But I do want to have the majority of the background of the main body of the space to be cohesive, which we can see here with the landscaping. As you can see, I just went in with expensive toddler objects and kid toys and stuff, and that's because, that's the majority of the Sims in this build are of that age group, and I think the gameplay is improved so much when you really do have objects that each life stage can use. So the back porch just has like a little seating area. I used some kids seating. I thought that was really sweet. Some gardening wall decor, and then in the front, again, we're still wasting money like we aren't having a budget restricted build, because I have fancy plants and seating and like bench seating and an easel and a chess table, and some of that may change towards the end if I have to go back and delete. But yeah, so that is the outside. I believe we are very much into the inside, and I just saw a sneak peek of that final exterior. It is beautiful. I could look at this build all day. Absolutely right up my alley. It's I think I did a really good job with this one. Okay, we are in the kitchen. Now, I've used that kind of mid-tone blue wallpaper, and that is the wallpaper of the house, as you saw. And I think it just suits really well with the style of build that we're building today. Like, it's just a traditional suburban. That's exactly what this is. No doubts about it. It's traditional but suburban. The cabinetry is from Parenthood. These are base game cabinet. The counters are from Parenthood. The cabinets are base game. Sorry. And these ones are a little bit more traditional. And again, they're a little bit pricey. So we're still really spending money. We're still definitely spending some money. And I went with a rounded table because I really love using rounded tables and shapes and objects in bay windows. I think it looks really appealing. So this is the only dining in the house, is this round table. And sometimes I'd have like a breakfast table and then a formal dining, but we don't have that today. We've just got the round table. And I went with this orange because the tone of the orange of the flowers inside the chair kind of matched with the wood tone of the actual table. And I really thought it was a cohesive look. And it's obviously very stark in comparison to the blue of the wallpaper. So yeah, I really enjoyed how that kitchen looked out. We do go back towards the end and add a little bit more clutter into the kitchen. So moving on, we are in the living room, very much into the living room. I want to say that this is very exciting and intricate, but it's not. It's a very basic living room. I went with this little campus kit play rug type thing, because I really thought that this would be like a playroom. Like, this would be, you've got the TV going, the kids would be in here. This was what I would envision a communal space would look like for a house where the family just has, 4 toddlers. 3 toddlers and a baby, I should say. But babies age up pretty fast in this game, so it probably would be a toddler fairly soon. So I really loved this space. I thought it was very cutesy. It's got some feminine things, some masculine things, just kind of very kidsy. I love this bookshelf. I think it's absolutely good for when you have children in the household, because it looks like it's got craft bins. It looks like it's got lots of children's books. It just looks visually appealing. Laundry. If you had 4 toddlers, can you imagine the laundry? So we've got the laundry in the living room. I just think it's a realistic thing. I know sometimes I even have laundry in the living room. And I don't have 4 toddlers. So, bathrooms. So the 2 bathrooms in this home are very similar. The key points to add is obviously we've got lots of toddler potties, both upstairs and downstairs just because, that's something that you need. And now we are moving into the master bedroom. This was the time where we were struggling. So if you look up at the top corner, we're at 45,356 simoleons is the property value of this house. And we're struggling. I haven't even touched the upstairs. I haven't done the nursery. I haven't done the upstairs. We're in Struggle Town. So those nifty knitting rugs that you can get for 0 simoleons as part of I think it's the Live Edit Objects cheat. They were my lifesaver. They were everywhere in this build because, as I said, I really struggled with simoleons. So this nursery is terrible. It's like the cheapest objects I could find, and I really just tried to put something together. So, because I was like, it's just a nursery. Like, I don't even have nurseries in my builds. I don't think I've ever done a nursery. I normally just, put the crib in the parents' room until they're a toddler, and then I'll make them a toddler's bedroom. But we did that in this build today because we had the space. Speaking about toddlers, we are upstairs. So this is the they're triplets, but the 2 boys of the triplets bedroom. And I went with that kind of orange and yellow kind of theme. And I did what I could. The girl, the female toddler, which we are doing now, I wanted to give her a unicorn. I could have gone with a Bluffy. A Bluffy is definitely more cheaper. But the unicorn was happening, it was important, and that was because I wanted this sim to have something for her, because all of the other children or toddlers and baby, I should say, they're male. So I wanted, and I thought that's a very realistic thing, Parents who often have a lot of boys and then they have a girl, they potentially, they get excited and they may potentially buy things and do things for their daughter that potentially they didn't really do for their sons because there's so many of them. So I wanted to have the girls' room be very special. I mean, they're all very special. Of course they are, but a very kind of girly room. And I really loved that wallpaper with the love hearts. I've not actually used that before, but I thought it was really good. And this was the area of the home where I had this gap. It wasn't big enough to do a room, but it was big enough that it needed to be furnished. And I just did like a little play area, like a little reading area. So you've got the dollhouse, you've got the little children chairs and like a bookcase. And I think it worked out really well. We are now just downstairs in the back entryway. So this is kind of that entryway towards the back of the house. And yeah, just cluttering up, doing the final touches. As I said, we are back in the kitchen, and I just wanted to use a couple of items because we were nearing close to 50 simoleons. I've actually just surpassed it. I think I have to delete a couple of items. I'm just trying to clutter. I'm just adding things. And yeah, so we are at that point where we are definitely over 50k. I do get rid of some flowers and swap some objects out. So you will see that it will go from 50k above and then below and then above and then below. We do end up, I think, I'm very much going around the build. I think I might, get rid of the bird bath. That goes, maybe a planter box. Yeah, because I really wanted a rug. I really wanted a little rug by the doors. I think it's important. Managed to be able to put a lamp in the bedroom. We changed the plant out in the dining area. And then upstairs, I believe we put, a buffet table and a plant. I'm going to be honest with you, it's just like a cheap plant. I believe it's that modern one. Yep. And we've got a desk area here. I think I end up deleting that document folder, but I just wanted to put something on this desk. So I do end up just putting some books and stuff. Yeah, I do end up deleting it. Yeah. So, and there we have it. So 50,002 simoleons. It's pretty much spot on. But we are in the tour. So this is that kitchen. Very kind of clean, very well furnished. I believe the kitchen and the lounge room are very well furnished in this house, which is good. They're the main living areas. That's what you want. Master bedroom. It's not great. The nursery, very basic. Bathroom, kind of an office nook. There is that, the boys' room, the girls' room, that little play area I was talking about before, and that really, really well furnished outdoor area, which I just absolutely love. I really love how the exterior of this house turned out. And I think it's lovely. And I could just stare at this house for hours. I think it turned out really well. Let me know in the comment section down below how what was your favorite room, what you enjoyed, what you didn't, and what you feel I could do better next time. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.